Hello everybody, welcome. Today is another fun event. I'm with the Sacred Treasure House on Facebook, and I am streaming both on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you see comments that I am responding to that you don't see, that's why they're in the other place. So don't worry, you're not lost. So we are going to have some fun today. Did you know that today is National Cherry Pie Day? Let me know in the comments if you knew. Give me a thumbs up or a heart if you knew that today was National Cherry Pie Day. And at Sacred Treasure House, that is exactly what the theme is today. So, we've got things going on all day, and certainly a lot of fun with everybody, going ahead and doing their, oh my goodness, whether it's a real cherry pie, maybe a fake bake, just crafting with the cherry red color. So whatever it is, it's in honor of Cherry Pie Day in Sacred Treasure House. So I'm so glad that you're here with us. I hope that you have been watching all the presenters. We had our friends from over at, oh my gosh, there's so many of them in that group. LT Designs. There's so many of them. It's a family and they all work together and team up, and so it's a lot of fun to see who's going to be when we see LT Designs. It's like, oh, who's it going to be? So it's always a lot of fun, and it's fun when a family does something like that together, right? You never know who's going to be on there. So I'm probably the only one in my family that wants to do any crafting, though. How about you guys? Do you have other crafters in your family, or are you the only one? I'm the only one, and I make a big enough mess by myself, right? Hi, Lisa. Hi, Deborah. Yeah, it's just, it's a lot of crafty mess at my house, usually in my craft area. So I always, I do some speed cleaning for, when I'm going to be on camera and what's behind me. But, it takes a nice mess to make nice crafts, right? Do you agree with that? Give me a thumbs up if you agree with that one. Or just tell me in the comments. I want to know, are you a neat crafter or messy crafter? Some people clean up immediately after they're finished and they keep everything all tidy and neat. Are you a tidy crafter or are you messy? Usually when I am done, I just have to bolt because I got something else going on. So I do some crafting. I clean everything up, and then I do the craft, and then I gotta go. That's how that goes. So thanks, Leslie. Thanks for everybody who has who has sprinkled me out. Oh yeah, Minnie says she is messy. Let's see. Leslie says she sprinkled us out. Yeah, I mean, it just, thanks, Deborah. Thanks, everybody who sprinkled it out. I certainly appreciate that. Without people seeing us, we're just here talking to ourselves. Oh, excuse me. So I need to pop myself into another couple of places here, and we will be ready to rock and roll. That would be a fun theme too, right? Rock and roll. Some of us are old enough, it's like we were around at the beginning of rock and roll. But, hey, you got to start somewhere, right? Okay, I'm going to move us down to the craft table. So today is National Cherry Pie Day, so in honor of cherry pies. Now, I'm not going to do fake bake or anything like that, but I've got some paper here with a cherry print, and we are going to also use some red. Let me move it down here. I've got some envelopes, so if you were on my page and you saw what we were going to do, oh my goodness, Sue says she is a neat crafter. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with anybody that is a neat anything. Leslie says we should see her scrapbook crafting. She uses a whole table and it's a big mess, right? I know, that's how that goes. So I printed this out, you guys. I just found a cherry print in Canva, and if you don't use Canva, that's a lot of fun. It's an easy way to get some graphics done. It's a lot easier than trying to figure out how to use Photoshop or anything like that. I have used Photoshop. I've used Photoshop Elements. I have another program that I use that is for a PC. And Canva is just, it does so much and is, fairly easy to use. There is a free version of Canva. There's a paid version too. So it depends on, how much that you need to work with graphics as to, which you might want to do. So I do have a paid version because I do it all the time. I mean, I use it all the time. So I did this. This print was right in Canva. I just printed it out. This is like on just kind of a heavier weight printer paper, but that's all. And then I had this gorgeous red paper. So we're going to use part of this. Now I've got a bunch of envelopes. Now, if you're probably wondering, what in the world is she going to do? I'm going to make us like a little, like a coupon organizer. So something for coupons. You could use Ephemera. If you're a crafter and you like to do junk journaling or something, you could use it for Ephemera. It would be, it would be a great project for that. I had picked up a ginormous bunch of envelopes. That's a number, ginormous. It's a quantity, and what else would we call it? I don't know, but who doesn't know what ginormous is? Okay, if you need help with that, just let me know in the comments. So hi Nora, hi Edith. We got Leslie here, Lisa, Minnie's here. Lots of people are rolling in. Thank you. There's Denise. Hi there. Okay, I think I've seen everybody. Hey there. So we've got these envelopes, and these were the kind that were they were a sticky, envelope. They might not be sticky anymore. And so what I'm going to do to start with is I am just going to put some glue on all of these. I'm wondering if it might make more sense. I think I had a piece of wax paper out here. Oh, I have no idea what happened to it. I want something so it doesn't stick. Here we go. You know what? Let's just use this. I can always wipe this off. So let's use this first. I don't know how many envelopes I want to use, but I'm going to use my little Teflon no-stick craft mat here. I'm going to put that on. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this glue stick. Let's use that to start with. I think that'll be easy. So I'm just going to rub that all the way across here. And I want to catch the edges here because of what we're going to do in a minute. So I want to make sure, so it's completely sealed right now, right? And that's okay. It's okay that it's sealed. So I'm going to lay that to the side. I just have to decide how many I'm going to put together. And I think, maybe I'll do 5. Oh my goodness, I have already messed up, you guys. Totally messed up. It's a good thing I have a lot of them. Totally messed up. You guys, if you watch me long enough, I'm going to mess up at something, right? And I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you what has happened. Okay, when I do this, when I flip this over, if I glue this whole thing and flip it over, it's going to be stuck right there. And I don't want to do that. I mean, I do want it closed, but I don't want it to stick to the other side. So I've ruined 2 of those already. That's okay. Got a whole pile. I didn't hardly pay anything for them at that estate sale. Oh my goodness. Yes, I tell you what, envelopes are great for using for a lot of things. Hi Lydia. Juanita's here. Hey there. So this is let's do this. Oh, I've already got it open. I'm just going to stick it across. Now right here, nope, that's not going to work either, you guys, because I got this little bit. You know what though? I'm going to trim that off. I am going to put that there. But I'm mostly going to just try and stick it along where it had the original gummed section. Okay? And be sure and flip this up if this is the kind you're using. And it doesn't matter what kind of envelopes you're going to use for this. It really doesn't. So we'll just I think I'll do 5. That seems like a good number to use. And I'm just going to try and kind of stay within the original gummed section. And just close it up. And in a second, when we get to this other part, I want you to know how impressed I was when I first saw this. Not what I'm doing now. I'm just making this up. I'm making up this project. Sometimes, oh, no. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. Well, we'll see how that is. That might be stuck too much to use. We'll check it out when we get to that point. But you know, part of what we're going to do today, I remember the first time I ever saw it and I thought, well, isn't that clever? Now, the rest of what we're doing though, I'm just making it up. But do you guys, have you ever had something like that that you've found, and you know, you watch somebody do it and you're like, oh my gosh, that is such a clever idea. Hi, Angela. Hey, Kathy. Oh, and following me is going to be Kathy from Quality Crafts by Kathy. So she's going to be after me. I got to go back. I've been, you know, sometimes when we are getting ready for these events, and sometimes even if I'm ready, I've got stuff I've got going on, and you can't watch the whole thing, and you got to go back and watch the replays. So it's always fun to see what everybody's done. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'll just do another one. So we'll have 6. We got plenty of time. And oh my goodness, who knows? I might have to be making up stuff here in a second. We might have plenty of time. But you know, if you're using new envelopes, you're not going to have to mess with gluing them probably. But like I said, I got these at an estate sale, so they were really old. I actually have used some of these to mail something in, and oh my goodness, that stuff is just, there's no stick left to it. Which is so funny because you would think that it would have something, but it does not. No stick left there. Okay, so let's move these. I'm going to move this out of the way. And those silicone mats work really great if you need to, or I think they're Teflon, or I don't know if they're, that one is like a Teflon one. They do make some that are like a silicone mat, and glass mats are great. I love them. That would be my preference, is to use a glass mat, you guys, but it reflects really awful the way I have my lighting and stuff set up. I've got 2 different ring lights, the way that they face here over my, you know, near my table. And then in my craft room, I have a ceiling fan, and it's got like 4, you know, it's an old-timey, goofy-looking ceiling fan, and it's got 4 lights, which is naked light bulbs, you know, it's got the little funny globe things, and so there's plenty of light in here, but oh my goodness, the glare is just, it's awful. So I don't make you do that. I'd like to make you, because I love the glass mat. All right, and these kind of mats like this, they call these a self-healing mat. I've used these forever. I used to have them, you know, when I did sewing, because you can use like rotary cutters or things, like if you're cutting out patterns. And so I've used these kinds of self-healing mats for years and years and years, and they're wonderful. Okay, so now what we're going to do, okay, this piece of paper is kind of going to be the base, and we're going to put these in here, and I'm going to turn them so they're a prettier way to look at them. They're going to be in here, and we're going to fold it up on both sides. So you can see my envelopes are too long, right? So let's cut a little bit off of those. You guys, I'm hungry. I think I just realized a while ago I didn't have breakfast, and now it's like it's way past breakfast, and I'm hungry. So we're going to cut these, and so, you know, these are regular 8.5 by 11 sheets, and so this direction, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to slice it just a little bit. I think I'll do 8 and, what would that be? Oh, let's see if that's 8s. That'd be for 3/8. 8 and 3/8. It's like one little ticky mark past 8.5. On this side. We're going to cut that off, and then we're going to make sure we did it right. Make sure it's the right size. So I want just a tiny bit on both sides, so that works great. I could do it just the 8.5, but I'm going to do a little bit less. So we're just going to slice them off like this. And now we're going to have to put a little bit of glue on the ends of those. What have you guys been up to? Okay, I've blabbed that much. Now let's see what's going on with you guys. Hi, Tanya. How are you? So I can hardly wait to get back and see what everybody's been doing for our event today. Hi, Deborah. So a little bit more. I know sometimes when you have a starting point and you're using something else, sometimes you almost feel like it took more work than if you would have just started from scratch. But that's okay. Okay, so now, since we've got our cutter out, we want to slice these. You know what? You guys, I think I'm going to use the part that is glued down here. I'm going to put that at the bottom. We're going to that'll be the bottom of what we're making. And so now I just want to slice off a little bit. I'm going to slice off like 1/8 of an inch. And the reason I'm doing that, and I'm going to do it at this other side, is because it's going to open up, right? We're going to open it up. Hey, Bev, how are you? Hey, Jeannie. So it's going to open up. Now we're still going to have to glue a little bit, but so envelope the flaps down here, and I'm going to cut 1/8 of an inch off. And the reason I'm doing 1/8 of an inch is because it just kind of, it cuts better, you guys. If you try to just do a teeny tiny bit, sometimes these cutters, you know, it just grabs and doesn't want to really cut it in the right spot. So that'll work. That'll work fine. So I'm just trimming off that teeny tiny bit. Oh my goodness, it seems like it's never ending, but I think I did 6 envelopes. And sometimes another tip with your trimmer is if you're trying to cut a tiny bit off and it, you know, you just want a sliver. Sometimes if you put your little, whatchamacallit, your little blade, if you start it somewhere not at an edge, sometimes it works a little bit better. It just you just poke it in there, and then you've got that starting place. Okay, so now we've got to glue these. My goodness. So we are going to just put a tiny bit of glue along the edge. And I am going, oh my goodness, why is this open? Okay, all right. So just a little bitty bit, and that's one of the reasons I love these needle nose bottles. And we're just going to close up the end. So we do want the top edge open like this. And just slide it on here. Just enough to, you know, keep it closed. Like that. Okay. What else you guys doing today? When I get done here, I've got to make an airport run. And and our friend has not been to our big airport, so she's inquiring about how big that is. I read the other day some stuff about Texas, and they said the DFW airport was either as big or bigger than Manhattan. I'm just like, yeah, not surprised. It's huge. But it's divided up. It's divided into like 5 different terminals. Is that right? So there's A through E. Is that 5? A, B, C, D, E. Yeah. So 5 different terminals. And you just could like drive around and loop-de-loo. And if you don't know what you're doing, you gotta just keep watching the signs. It's like, oh my goodness. It's not too bad though. it does seem a little daunting, and if you haven't been there before, you know, it seems like you're not sure what in the world's going on. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to glue these together, and I'm going to start, and we're just going to kind of eyeball it. And well, I guess I could put it, hang on a second. Let's do this. Let's kind of center it here. Is that in the center? Well, I could get, where's my other ruler? That's one thing I like about these Tim Holtz rulers. It's got one side that's got the 0 in it, and you can actually kind of line them up and find what the center is. So there's kind of our center, and you know what? I'm going to put that, oh, these are in my way. Let me move these. I'm going to put this and put it right here. And the next time I'll know. Okay, so that's kind of the center where my blue line is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my glue right along here. And I'm just going to push it all the way down. So I've just got it in the center. And so now I want to make sure my top edges are together. We'll just line it up and just glue it down. We're just going to glue all of them with just that little bit right down the center. And this is the part I was telling you, the first time I ever saw it, I'm like, well, isn't that clever? The raven has, California dreaming. The raven has landed and sprinkled. Well, thank you. Okay. I tell you, as much as I like the little cap being attached, it kind of gets in the way and is annoying. So just kind of line them up. I'm glad now I cut that little bit off. This way, if I get them a little bit, you know, if they're all which way, this way, one way or the other, it's not going to matter. So that'll work great. Thanks for hanging out with me today while I do some crafting, and I know all of us enjoy presenting to you and showing you some crafty ideas. Hey Michelle, how are you? I'm gonna go back and see some of the replays already. Then with an airport run, I'm gonna have to come back and see the other ones too. I'm behind. I got a lot of replays to watch for different things, you guys. How many presenters before you? Oh my goodness. Who can answer that? We'll have that as a quiz. How many were before me? I don't even know how many are after me. I'm flying by the seat of my pants today, Raven. Okay. So now we've got this. And what we're going to do, we're going to put this in here. And we're going to have it fold over this way. You know what? Let me grab a piece of just regular paper to work with for 1 second. Okay. Let's get a better idea. This will bend easier and we can kind of plan it out. So we want it to go up this way. And so it's going to like just pull out like this. And we can put whatever ephemera, coupons, whatever you want in there. And so we're going to put it like this, fold it up at the bottom, and then we'll be able to fold it down from the top. I just need to make an amount that makes sense and looks attractive. It always needs to look attractive as we're working on it. I think this would be a good, I kind of like this. And I think, okay, let's just kind of give it a fold so we have a good place to measure from. So this one is, where's my ruler? There it is. So at the bottom, and I like to sometimes show you this so you can kind of get an idea of how we plan stuff out, right? So here this is, and this is at 3 3/8 right there, but I want to make a little bit of a a gusset right here, and so it has, you know, room. And so I think what I'm going to do is let's do 3 1/8 and do it over here to 3 1/2. So 3 1/8 and 3 1/2, and that'll work out. And then up here, let's do kind of the same, except I'm not too worried about this. I want it to have more of a soft fold at the top. So I think I'm just gonna leave that for now, okay? But what we do want to do is we want to make it kind of a little rounded, pointy top. So if this is where we're gonna do our little soft, rounded fold, we want to have, oh, you know what? Okay, here's a good tip for you. If you want to do something and have kind of a rounded edge, take a lid and kind of give yourself that little curve like that. I gotta turn it this way so I can see. So sometimes I'll have these small lids and I will just kind of use those. So I've just got this nice little curve, and then we can trim that along here. And I'm just going to kind of line it up here. I'm going to give it a little bit more room. And then just, I'm going to have to mark it. I can't see it. Okay, so we're going to mark that. We're going to place our little guide, our cutting guide there. And then down to where the little edge is. And just slice it off. And the same over here, and then I'll just be able to take a pair of scissors and trim that other section. So I just want to make sure I'm slicing across. So see how we've got that? Now I still have a tiny bit of white on the edges, so all we have to do for that is just use our scissors to trim that, and we'll just make our nice little curve like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as kind of a little pattern, and we'll put this on the red paper and just draw around it like that. So I'm about falling on my seat. My chair is kind of broken. I wasn't very happy about that. So right here, and we can just go ahead, let me find a pencil. No pencil. What the heck? Well, that's not good. Let me look at my drawer. Oh my goodness, I don't know. Shoot. Okay, well, we'll just have to use this. I'd rather use a pencil. I'll just have to make sure I cut off the ink, so it's not a big deal. So we'll just, just trace around here. But see what a nice curve that gives us by, using that method? How many of you have some kind of little tricks of the trade that you use, that you make up? 10 after me. Thanks, Beverly. There's 10 after me. We've had a long day. We've got lots of people on today. That's wonderful. I will probably only miss a couple on my airport trip. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to cut the ink off right here. And actually, I'm going to come back around to these side edges, and I'm just going to give them a slight little curve. I'm just ever so slightly, just to take the point off. I just like it better when the point is off. Okay. And now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at this again. I am going to hold this down. I don't know. I probably do a lot of things that are kind of unconventional. Don't we all? Don't we all with whatever we're crafting? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this along where that fold was. I'm going to hold it there. I'm going to slide this paper out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a real gentle fold, gentle roll. If I can get it. Oh my goodness. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of begin to train that paper to bend a little bit. I don't really want to score it and have a hard score line. Okay, so we're just going to, and I'm going to bump it back a little bit more. And I'm going to push it one way and kind of give it a little bit more. I just want it to kind of bend. And you can do this like at the edge of a table, something like that. So we've got just a little bit of a curve. And that's not, it's kind of doing what I want, but it's kind of not. I'm going to bump it up a little bit more. This paper is kind of, this is a heavier cardstock than I thought it was. So we just want to get it to bend because we'll have to have it come all the way over. But maybe maybe we'll have a better time with that. Okay, now let's measure this again. And so we want this to be at 3 1/8. I'm going to make we're going to score. A lot of times you've heard me say before that these paper trimmers, you can use this groove where the blade goes and you can kind of use it as a little ditch to use for a scoring tool. I'm trying to reach my scoring tool. Oh, Deborah says she lives in the cherry capital of the world. Oh my goodness, where is that? Is that in... I'm gonna guess. Is that in... I want to say, but I don't want to be goofy. Hey, Regina. Hi, Susan. Okay, hi, Zena. Okay, what did I say it was, you guys? I'm sorry. I got sidetracked of trying to remember where Deborah is. Okay, so 3 1/8. And I'm just going to use I'm going to use the large size. You know what, though? I need to flip it the other way because I want it to bend the other way. And I'm going to make a true score mark here to bend because this is going to be the little gusset of on the bottom of our little holder. Our little folder. And then I think this was like about... I think we left like about 1/2 inch, so 3 1/2. Not quite. No, it wasn't. It was not quite 1/2 inch. Okay. Alrighty. This is so thick. You know, I actually think I'm going to turn it over and score it on both sides. And what you're doing when you're scoring, you guys, is you're just kind of massaging the fibers of that paper. And, you know, it's just gonna allow you to bend that paper without it cracking. So sometimes if you've got heavier paper or paper that is more prone to cracking. In Michigan, oh my goodness. Yeah, I was thinking like Oregon or something. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and fold these on these score lines. And now I'm going to take our little papers that we did like this. And remember, I put the flap on the bottom. And one of the reasons I decided to do that was that left it to where it's a straight shot down into there. And it's not going to catch on anything at all. And I just thought that would work out well. So now we're going to put these on here. I'm going to go ahead and line this up again. I know where the center was. And I'll put some glue right down the center once again. And I might put a little bit more to hold it on this time. It doesn't have to be that thin little strip. So we'll put that on. Oh, I should have done the decorating already. Okay, so now we'll put this here. We're just going to line it up in here. And this way, we've got enough room down here that if it expands too much down here, that's okay. And we've got this rounded top up here, so that's, you know, that's gonna work. And it doesn't even cover all the way. What in the world? Okay. That's okay. It's okay. Why was I thinking that was gonna cover? Okay, again, we'll fix it. Oh my word. Yeah, Kathy, isn't that pretty? Don't you love that cherry paper? And now we're gonna get a chance to use the cherry paper. We are going to put it right here, except when I printed it, I should have told it to not, or to run it clear to the edge, and I did not. Let's trim off this part that did not print. So we know what we're working with. I'd rather do that so I can decide where I want to put it. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's like if I ever did a craft anymore that turned out exactly like it was supposed to, I would almost be surprised. But this is fine. And you know what? See, and it wasn't wide enough this way for, well, it would have been exactly the same because the red paper was an 8.5 by 11. But because it didn't print to the edges, it was too short. That, well, good grief. You know, oh, I know. Got it. Let's do this, you guys. Let's, you know, sometimes they just don't turn out like you were thinking. Let's just measure this. Let me think about this for 1 second. If we just put it on here and it folds over, then we've got kind of white here and white here. You know, I think I like that idea. Then it almost looks more like it was meant to be. So I'm going to do about 2 3/4. Let's cut a little strip 2 3/4. You know, you just keep going. You don't have to, just because you know, it didn't turn out exactly like you thought you were planning it, it doesn't mean that it's totally unusable. And I'm going to just go ahead and put, I'm actually just going to put, now I can't even, you know, this is kind of new. It's like, which side opened? So I'm just going to put that on here. Let me get my, oh, here, let's use this. Get it to the edges. And this brand is really, a lot of paper crafters use this brand of Yoo-Hoo glue sticks. It's a good, it's not super cheap, but it works, and that's the thing. I had a glue stick I grabbed one day for something, and oh my goodness, I was sorry. Okay, there we go. Yes, that, I can't believe I did that. Yeah, we could, if we'd have used like a sheet of like 12 by 12 to start with, we wouldn't have had this goofy problem. But you know, it's going to be okay. We've got plenty of room in here. It covers the top. Nothing's going to be falling out. And actually, let's do this. Let's do another little piece. And put it along the flap. Oh, wait a second. That's wrong. That will not work out. I need to put it this direction because the flap will be folding over. And I'm going to just bump it down a little bit so that I can have a border. Just like on the other side. I think this is going to work. Okay. Let's just cut this. Again, we'll cut on the inside of the ink line so we can get that cut away. Okay. We'll just use our glue stick again. That way we can get, if we put it on something else like this, and I tell you what, our friend from Christy from Funky Junk Inspiration, you know, she uses like a magazine, and she'll use glue stick on that, and then, you know, when she's done, she can just rip out the page, or, you know, flip it over, and whether it's glued to itself or not, that's fine. I got glue on the outside of this, you guys. So now we'll just put this on here. So I've got a little bit, it's a little bit crooked. See if I can wipe some of that glue off. Kind of. There we go. It'll just fold over like this. And it's kind of dirty. It's still going to hold stuff. Oh, big Susan. Okay, so now, how are we going to get it to close? I have an idea, and it's going to be super simple. All we're going to do is we are going to tuck it in. And we have to have something. Gosh, I can't believe I do not have a pencil. So, I want to have it like about from here to here. And that looks fairly straight. So I'm going to grab my little blade, and I'm just going to put the ruler down here, line it up, and I'm just going to slice through. Oh my goodness. Try to keep it straight along the ruler. What was the point of having the ruler out? Oh my word. Oh, you guys. You have to have it all the way through. I can believe it. Did it cut through? Kind of. Oh my word, I gotta cut it I gotta cut this direction so it doesn't tear that paper anymore. Okay, and this is why we keep the glue handy. Oh my goodness. And then you guys are going, why didn't you just go buy like a coupon holder? Because it didn't have cherries on it, you guys. Duh. But You know, it was cherry pie day and it had to have cherries on it. Okay. There we go. So now we've got that opened up here, and now we can just bend this over and tuck it in. This still needs to be a little bit more flexible, and you can just kind of, you know, work it. Just kind of give it a soft bend. Just kind of bend it. Oopsies. Yeah, right. Oh my goodness. And then you can just tuck it in there. There we go. So there it will stay. It could maybe be a little bit, I don't think this cut quite as far. Seems a little tight right here. Okay. But you could certainly put in a, oh, now that's coming up. Oh my goodness. I'm going back to my real glue. This real glue. Well, the paper's cute though, right? I'm gonna use this, and it's gonna stick on there and not go anywhere. I love this. This is that reptile glue. I'm always telling you that's what I like to use. I use it, and I just put it in that smaller container. That needle nose thing. And I tell you what, those little needle nose things are always handy. So, you know, here you go. You've got your little thing. You get the idea. You could make something like this, right? And then you've got all of these. Oh, look how it opens up like this. I mean, you can put a lot of stuff in there. So if you wanted something, you know, like to put ephemera in, look how much you could put in there. And maybe you have something special you want to put in. Maybe you want to put like word strips, or, you know, maybe you want to put some springy things in one, or you could divide it up however you want to. And since and it feels kind of, you know, it's all loose, all here, all of these things are loose. They're not, you know, tight together. They're only glued in the middle, and so it's got a lot of flexibility. And I think that that's one of the things that I really like about, you know, that method of gluing things in the centers like that. Okay, well, this maybe isn't my best work, but, you know, there you have it. So I think that was, but the idea of those, if nothing else, if you had not seen that deal where you can put envelopes and glue them together like that, I think that is a fabulous thing to know. We have a few minutes more. Let's just make a cute little bookmark and make a little dangly thing to go on it. I think I've got some red beads over here. We'll play like they're little cherries. They're reminiscent of cherries, right? Let me put my little lids away so they're not in the way. And I know where they are. Let's see, let's just make, oh, I think 2 inches is a nice size width for a bookmark. But I love this color paper. I don't know what it is. It's just some I had. I really like it. I think that's kind of long for a bookmark. Let's make it about, I don't know, some people might know exactly how big like a paperback book is or something. This looks like a good size. Let's do that, and let's put a hole in it and put a little eyelet in the center. And I'm just going to, I think I'm going to make a big eyelet because I might want to put a couple of things in there. So I'm just going to put it down here, just kind of eyeball it into the center, punch that out, and get like a, oops, I'm going to use a silver. And you could stamp it, you could do whatever you wanted to it. Put some stickers, put some words, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to stick one of these in. It just makes the hole a little bit sturdier when you use an eyelet in it. And a crocodile is so wonderful to use for that. So you just take this eyelet, you just stick it in there into the hole. And there's a whole little sheet that comes with a crocodile telling you like the little, how, you know, how these things turn. these little doodads turn, and so they spin around, and so depending on the size of what you're using, it tells you the combination. This one turns and that one, and so you have to know the combination. And I just keep my little sheet with my crocodile stuff, and then the little part that sticks out down there, see how it's got a little thing that sticks down, that goes in the top, and then you just give it a squeeze. Now, before we had crocodiles, you might go somewhere and everybody was just like pounding and pounding and pounding, because that was what you did. You had a little tool and then you would hammer it down, and oh my goodness, it was loud. And then they made these and you just give it a little squeeze. And this stuff, the hole punch will do through chipboard. You can do many layers of paper at the same time. It is really, yeah, they're really handy. So let's see, let's grab out some stuff and make some little cheery looking. Look, I got these, I think last year at Christmas time. I got them after Christmas, and I thought, hey, you know, Christmas isn't the only time we might use these kinds of colors, right? And here we are, Cherry Pie Day, and there we are. We are ready to use them. And I've got some pins. I've got different lengths of the little pins like this. Got some really long ones too. I think those are the same. I like the really long ones because, oh, here they are. Because then you can fit a whole bunch of goodies on them. Well, that one's really bent. That's going to take some work. So all you do is you just start stringing your little fun things on here. Oh my goodness. So you put little, you know, we'll put a little red one, a little clear one. Let's do a little white one. You know, just some fun little things on here. I cannot see these little holes. Oh my goodness. Here's like a little sparkly one. No, it's not sparkly. Shiny. Shiny would be a better description. So just some fun things like that. You can get, let me see, I've got some other, let me see if there's anything cool over here we might want to use. Well, I don't, here's, and then there's these. I've had these things forever, and I never did do anything. And then when we all started playing around doing these and doing little dangly things for paper crafts, I'm like, oh, I have some stuff I can use. So, you know, like little seed beads. How many of you have had how many of you have crafty things that you just knew you were going to use and then you don't? I can't be the only one. I refuse to believe that. But so there's just all kinds of little fun things. And I tell you what, some of the beads that you can get are just beautiful. And oh my goodness, handmade beads and stuff, just beautiful, right? Yeah, Leslie's talking about hammering away at using eyelets. Yes. It kind of seems like a long time ago, and then it kind of doesn't, right, Leslie? Okay, so let's just do that one. And then there's a special little tool to make the little, to make a little circle on the other end here to close it off. And so you just poke it through here, run it through here until you get it through the other side. Sometimes I feel like I need an even extra hand. And then you just squeeze it together and it pinches off that. And sometimes I don't think I get a very good closure, so sometimes I take another pair and kind of curve it on around a little bit more to make sure it's closed really well. And so we've got that one, and we could do a little short one. I think we've got time. But there's these little, they call them a bulb pin. And this is one of the things you can use that makes it fun to attach something. I'm trying to close those. Some things I do try to be neat and put back, because I know if something happens, they're going to spill all over the place or just make a terrible mess. So we've got that. And let's make another one. Let's make a little short one, a shorter one. I think these are open already. Let's see, says she. Oh my goodness, you know, now when the first time I ever saw anybody doing mixed media, I'm like, oh my goodness, you mean there is something else that I can use all of my stuff with? And I was so excited to see people using all kinds of stuff, you know, paint, stamps, inks, you know, just doing everything under the sun to create wonderful things, mixed media. And I had plenty of scrapbook paper, that was for sure, right? Use it or sell it. There you go. Or give it away. You know, there's a lot of places that would be happy to, you know, have some things like that. Schools and recreation centers for kids that have after school programs. There's so many places that could use the things that, you know, if you've got way too much of it and it's just in your way, so many places that would be glad to put it to use. And a lot of those people, a lot of those places do, what was I going to say? They have limited budgets, and they just cannot, you know, they just don't have the means to purchase a lot of extra goodies for, you know, the people to use. And so by gifting them some of that, you know, I think it's, you know, such a wonderful, it is truly a gift when we give that to some of the people, right? Instead of just keeping it for ourselves. And you know, at some point you have to say, am I really ever going to use that? So, you know, if you think really you're not, then it's, you know, it's nice to do something with it. Okay. Like I said, sometimes I feel like I need another hand. You know what? I'm going to hold it with this thing. If I can. There we go. And then I can get it through here, thread it through where it needs to go. And now I've got it gripped in a way I can't do anything with it. I'm going to do it. There we go. And I got to get my glasses just right. There we go. Oh, you know, the problem is my fingers aren't almost long enough to grasp with it open. There we go. Got it. And then just squeeze it around. Oh, this one closed really nice and tight. That one's a lot better. Okay, so then we'll just put this one on there. So we've got a long one and a short one. And then I've got a whole bunch of little other things. And you guys, Kathy's from Quality Crafts by Kathy. She's going to be on next. And I got this whole bag of little charms I got off of Amazon one time. And look, cherries have to have sun. Let's put a little sunshine on there. Except that really needs another jump ring. I'll do that after a while. So we've got that on there. And then for our little bookmark, we need something to kind of attach it to. I'm going to close these up, you guys. Like I said, there are some things I do put away. Beads are one of them. I don't want to clean up beads. I do not want a problem. Let's see. Oh, I should have gotten out something kind of white or Oh, I've got a little, no, that's attached to something. Well, I'll just put this on here temporarily. It doesn't really go, but since this is kind of a safety pin type thing, we'll just do this for now. Just loop it around. It's really kind of a pretty color. Thank you guys for joining us today. And if you're not a member of Sacred Treasure House, be sure and join. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's an easy place to, if you're in there, it's easy to see all of the presenters and the replays. There's always lots of fun things going on in there. I can't get it closed. I'm gonna do it. There we go. So it's just kind of a fun little bookmark. So if you put it in the book, you know, obviously you'd want this part sticking out, which I probably should have put this would have been a better idea, to put this kind of on the loop. Like that. And then you've got like some little fun things for a little bookmark. So reminiscent of cherries, just some little red things, little doodads. So that's always kind of fun. Danglies. I love little dangly things. Just makes me happy. You guys, thank you so much. And it is time now for us to go over and see what Kathy's going to be up to. She's always dressed up for something. Wonder what she's going to be dressed up for today. Is she going to be a cherry today? I don't know. We'll have to go see, right? Do you have extra cherry paper to put on? Oh, on here? Oh, that's a good idea. Yes, I do somewhere. What do we do with it? Excellent. Well, it's somewhere here. That's funny. I'll have to do that. I'll put that on there. Good. Thank you for reminding me. That was a plan originally, Lydia. So, I told you I need assistance in both ways. Assistance as helpers and assistance as, you know, both ways you spell it. I need it both. You guys, take care. Have a wonderful day. And let's go see what Kathy's up to. Bye-bye.